Hello, 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 hello. How's it going, people? Welcome to the stream. Welcome, 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 welcome. Hope everyone has had a fantastic day. Everyone's feeling fantastically well. But of course, with Arsenal, it's never an easy day, is it? It's never a calm day. We never do things as we should be doing. It's always something. Always. Either we are haggling over a few million, as in this case, we are talking about Victor Gyökeres. We are haggling over 5 million, which is actually quite insane. And then, few hours later, Arsenal are going in for Madueke, 50 million on the table, and we are going from there, basically. Luckily enough, obviously, Chelsea rejected the bid. Then again, Arsenal apparently are willing to go in once again with, well, a better offer. Let's just put it that way, basically. And it has caused such a turmoil in the fan base. It is actually insane. And I don't know even what to say, to be honest. I genuinely don't know what to say and how to feel. Because, not gonna lie, I kind of don't want that to happen. Well, I actually don't want that to happen in terms of Madueke. And to be honest, if we sign Madueke and Gyökeres, for example, falls through, every single person at Arsenal should be sacked on the spot. I'm not gonna lie, because that would be the highest level of incompetence you can ever imagine. Obviously, journalists and ITKs are doubling down that signing Madueke at the end of the day is separate from a forward, is separate from everything else. At the same time, you are haggling over 5 million regarding signing Victor Gyökeres. Yet at the same time, you have about 50 million lying around to go in for Madueke. Make it make sense. Genuinely make it make sense. So today, what we're gonna do, we're gonna talk about all that. So do me a favor, smash the like button if you haven't already. Smash it, caress it, destroy it, hot smash it. However you do it, please do it. Genuinely, please do it. Subscribe if you're new around here. We are almost at 700 subscribers. Almost at 700. And we are inching towards the 1K goal, of course. And leave your thoughts down the live chat so we can tackle them, we can discuss them, and we can go from there. Big up, Mubarak. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well today. While we are at, what we are hearing that Gyokeres deal stalled. In fact, the word stalled, depression. I get it, because Arsenal have starved us from a striker for 3.5 years, and now that we are actually literally this close into getting a striker, we are haggling over 5 million. Our board or some people flew to Lisbon, couldn't get the deal done, and they're now flying back, and it's all over the place. Basically, that's what it is, and it's kind of annoying, I'm not gonna lie, to say the least. Big up, Valeria, big up. Smash the likes, people. Smash the likes. Smash it. Smash it. Have you seen the reports that Arsenal considered other left-wing options, but they would cost more than Madueke? If this is true, I'm fuming. Oh, 100%. I haven't seen those reports, but if it is true, it is actually insane. It is insane. They don't want to sign Rodrigo. They don't want to sign Rodgers. They don't want to sign anyone. And then at the same time, by the way, which made it even 10 times worse, we go in for 50 million for Madueke. Right? And at the same time, David Ornstein drops the news that Spurs are signing Kudus for 55 million. Just 5 million more, and they're signing Kudus. I'm sorry, why haven't we gone in for Kudus? Why didn't we sign him last year? He was available for 40-odd million. We could have signed him then. He can play wings, he can play number 10, for like secondary striker, arguably, as well, to some extent. He would be also a very good option. Like, make it make sense. Like, genuinely make it make sense. It feels like this club, they're putting a show. It's like reading a novel, basically. That's what it's being an Arsenal fan through transfer window. You're reading genuinely a novel. Like, everything starts doom and gloom. Then something happy happens or something like that. Then again, something majorly negative, sad, or teary, basically, that you start crying happens. Like this, like what he experienced today, and with the number 5 in Arsenal's team, who used to be on everything. And then, of course, you have the happy ending. Now, whether we're going to get the happy ending regarding Arsenal, that we're going to sign Gyökeres, we're going to sign some other players. I'm not going to say even Rodrigo, because I have, at the moment, based on how we are doing things, zero trust and zero belief that we are getting Rodrigo over the line and everything. So, oh my God. Today was an adventure because I was at work, I was working, and then all of a sudden, bang, Madueke, bang, Gyökeres news. Then bang, Spurs are signing as well the Kudus. It is utter BS what I was seeing today. And luckily enough, I have calmed down a bit. But obviously, as I'm going to speak on it, and definitely it's going to go up in the stratosphere once again. I'm not going to lie. It could actually go in stratosphere. So you have to hold me a bit grounded. I would at least hope you would do that. Big up Pepper. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. Get Arteta out. And to be honest, it's hard to disagree with that. And I couldn't agree more because, like, what else can you do? What else can you say even? Because when you hear stuff like this, right? When you hear stuff like this in the media that Arsenal don't know what they're doing to some extent, let's be real. It feels like Arsenal have no recollection, no ideas, no nothing, and everything. And it's very mind-boggling. I would love to know how Arsenal are envisioning this transfer business to go. Because at the same time as we are talking about this, it is still all up in the air. There are no ceremonies, no guarantees, and then you have to read some other news that we might not even get the ones we are going after, which again, for me, spells massive, massive issues, massive, massive trouble, and massive, massive pain, to say the least. Let's be real. Big up Hyper Protagonist, big up Marlon, BS, oh, 100%. These reports may be true. When was the last time we spent more than 50 million on a backup? On a backup specifically? Have we even done that? Like, seriously, have we even done that? We don't move like that, meaning he's going to play a key part in the team, which is worse, exactly. Like, we don't even do that. Berta is going to sabotage the Madueke deal. That is the hope and pray. Genuinely hope and pray. Andrea Berta, if you're listening, please do something about this, because at the moment, as I'm sitting here and looking at this, Andrea Berta is doing his Gyokeres thing, whatever is happening there, right? At the same time, we get news about Madueke. Genuinely feels like a situation where Mikel Arteta wants Madueke, and he has gone behind Andrea Berta's back while he's preoccupied about Gyokeres and just said, I want also that player at the same time. The less Berta knows, the better. Don't let him interrupt his business. Something like that. It feels like there is some sneaky stuff going on. And that is very, very, very frustrating, to say the least. Big up Eros, Mikel music in the house. Arsenal, the gift that keeps on giving. To be honest, hard to disagree. Genuinely hard to disagree, to say the least. But yeah, we're going to kick things off with this. This is the latest news on Gyökeres. 8 likes, big up people. Like the stream if you haven't already. If we can reach 20, 30 likes, I would be ecstatic. But yeah, this is the one that is most recent one. Arsenal's last formal talks with Sporting over Victor Gyökeres took place on Sunday, which we obviously read the reports that they have flown to Lisbon to take initial talks. And at the time, they said it looks like it could be a matter of hours. Turns out it's not going to be a matter of hours. It's going to be a matter of weeks, what it feels like. And despite the expectation, an improved formal bid is yet to be received. So Arsenal actually have not even put in a bid. They actually have not put in an improved offer. By the looks of things, the deal is close, but Sporting are now waiting to hear again from Arsenal before the week is out. So basically it's Wednesday. So we are halfway through the week. And Arsenal still have basically done nothing since Sunday. 3 days, and we have done nothing. And there is more. There is genuinely more. Listen to this. According to Record Portugal, don't know how reliable they are, but here we go. The deal for Victor Gyökeres transfer to Arsenal is now on the brink of collapse. Arsenal's representatives have returned to London without an agreement. The deal is in jeopardy now after 2 days without any progress. That is definitely something Arsenal fans want to hear regarding the fact that we are going for a striker, arguably the hottest striker on the market you can get, and we are the only team that's in for him at the moment. And yeah, we haven't had a striker for 3.5 years. That is definitely something Arsenal fans want to hear. It's like the club actually doesn't read the room or anything. Exactly. And then there's more. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. There's more. Here it is. According to Sky Sports, which adds on top of that, Well, Arsenal and Sporting aren't too far away from compromise and fee for Victor Gyökeres because, from what we have heard, they are haggling over 5 million. Yes, you heard it right. Not 50, not 15, 5 million. Arsenal want to pay 65, Sporting wants 70. And add-ons obviously depend on which side they take. That is what they're haggling over at the end of the day. That's what's nuts over this. Genuinely nuts what's over this. And there is the gun. The Gunners will be disciplined in their approach, which I get it. You don't want to overpay. You want to do this and that. You usual stuff. And have done due diligence on other targets for if a deal cannot be struck. Now, we are already talking about other targets. I'm sorry. We just got away from Benjamin Tesco bags. 90 million, sorry. We just got rid of that. Now we are talking about other targets. Obviously, throughout the transfer window, there were rumors that Arsenal have their third choice option, Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins apparently has been told to sit tight. Arsenal have told him apparently to sit tight and wait what Arsenal will decide to do and whether they're going to sign a player or not. Sorry. So you want to tell me that we obviously ditch Sesko? We are haggling over 5 million for a deal over Gyökeres, arguably the best striker you can get at the moment, the hottest one. And now we are looking at the other targets. And as you've noticed, it says targets, multiple. So I'm very curious now, what are the other targets? Because first thing that springs to mind is Sesko, obviously. And the next thing that springs to mind is Watkins. But we already know that, right? So if it's a general knowledge that Arsenal, they have been linked with Sesko, Arsenal have talked about Watkins and everything, they most likely would have put them in there, wouldn't they? Right? So the question is, are those other targets Sesko and Watkins, or do we have someone else lined up? That, for me, at the moment, is the biggest question of the century. Who are these other targets? God forbid if the deal falls through, who are the other targets? Who are we going after? Seriously, this all unfolded you got drip-feeded it. You had they have returned, deal could not be struck. Now the next one is on the brink of collapse. Obviously a bit of exaggeration, rage bait and all that stuff, but hey, it's Arsenal, so PTSD, if you are an Arsenal fan long enough, you probably take that very seriously because you have seen the deals fall through. We drag these deals for too long. Other team swoops in and steals the deal. We have seen it all happen, people. Let's not kid ourselves. And to add icing on top of the cake, we have already other targets lined up if the Gyökeres deal doesn't go through. I'm sorry, 5 million to haggle over just so we get all of this information. 5 million. This is not like your local flea market where you can go and talk about these things and say, special price for you, my friend. $5 off or something like that. What are we doing here? Serious talk. What the hell is this club doing? They don't have enough money for Gyökeres, but they have no problem pissing down the wind 50 million for Madueke. Where does that make any sense whatsoever? Where in the universe does that make any bloody sense whatsoever? Could somebody please explain me this? Serious talk. Could someone explain me this? Because right now, I'm not even looking at Berta. I'm looking at Mikel. I'm looking at Tim Lewis, Richard Garlick, all these morons in the hierarchy. And of course, the cream of the crop, the Cronkies, stingy bastards. We are looking at them. Because let's not forget, Cronkies can put in 109 million of their own money per transfer window, per year, basically, per summer transfer window to fund transfers. How many times do you think they have done that? Serious talk. How many times do you actually think they have done it? That for me now is the big question. Because it doesn't feel like it is happening ever. Yet every single window we get promises of a war chest. Best is yet to come. Be excited and all this stuff. Yet we have to sit through this and be excited about this at the end of the day. Make it make sense. Seriously, make it make some goddamn sense. Yeah, it's all of that icing on the cake. I know it's really, what the hell is happening? It's a disgrace that we are struggling with 5 million and we place a bid for 50 mil for Madueke. Exactly. Who is sanctioning these deals? How do they allocate the funds that we all of a sudden are 5 million short there, and we most likely, since Chelsea rejected the first offer, are gonna go in for Madueke with even better offer most likely? Where does that compute to Arsenal? Because it makes to me like 0 sense almost. Let's be real. Exactly, sick of this BS. I was in Shane Gunner's stream and then on Views' stream as well during the day while I was at work. I was talking to Rabona, right? And I was talking, would she take me on loan? Like, seriously, at Madrid. I would become, what is it, Latvian Madridista or something like that. Seriously. I would just go out on loan to Real Madrid until this BS is all sorted out, or until Mikel Arteta is gone at least. Like, it's total and utter disgrace. F Arsenal. Like, Gyökeres is also sick of this. We are getting Sesko. Best chance is Ekitike or Watkins. Like, we haven't heard anything about Ekitike as well, to be honest, regarding Arsenal. Yes, Ekitike allegedly is on the market. He's available. Is he, though? What is happening there? Like, serious talk. Like, nobody knows what's actually going on with all of this. This is utter and total BS, if you ask me. And we aren't getting Gyökeres either. It looks that way now. Obviously, there are reports. I'm not gonna lie. Not everything is so doom and gloom as it looks right now, because there are some reports suggesting that the deal is still on, right? The deal is still on, and it could be done and dusted, basically, by the end of the week. There are reports that are suggesting this stuff. I'm not gonna lie. There are reports who are suggesting this stuff. Then again, if you have been an Arsenal fan long enough, you'll probably know how this is going to go. Because it never tends to kind of end. It never tends to end, and it also tends to go very sideways for Arsenal real quick, to say the least. And that, for me now, is the biggest issue you can ever imagine, if you ask me. Because those issues still persist. It doesn't matter, it looks like, who we have as a sporting director. Because everything stems from the hierarchy who sanctioned the funds, and of course, Josh and Stan and all these bastards up there. But at the end of the day, how can you operate like this? Which business operates like this? Because let's be real, it's business for those lot. More BS, exactly. Bigger bright. We don't need Madueke. Yeah, that's going to be my next thing I'm going to talk about. That is even bigger disgrace, to say the least. Could be done and dusted by the end of the week. Exactly. Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. Arsenal playing too many reindeer. Exactly. It's always could, should be, potentially. There's always these little phrases that basically gives also all the journalists, all the ITKs a cop-out. Because, they can, if it doesn't work out, they can say, oh, you see, transfer business is not a guarantee. You never know what's going to happen in negotiations. One point in the contract and everything falls through, they basically always put in one word, so just they have a cop-out. And it's always like that. If you pay a closer attention to it, you will always notice it as well. What baffles me is that there are better players than him who are cheaper and not from Chelsea. If Chelsea are willing to sell him, why would we buy him? Exactly. That's my biggest point. Because first things first, throughout the last season, everyone was screaming, Bandieri is the backup for Saka. Everyone was screaming that. Now all of a sudden we are linked with Madueke. Bandieri, who cares? At the end of the day, that's what it feels like, because I see on Twitter, on YouTube, TikTok, Reddit even, people gassing up the Madueke signing like he is the next coming of Lionel Messi at the end of the day. That's what it looks like. And there are rumors floating around as well in the reports. That's a $1 into Eros's inevitable DC United fund, who are going to lose anyways, right? That Mikel Arteta envisions Madueke as a left winger. And he can reignite his career, and he can build his own next Sane, as he used to have when he was a backup coach, assistant to Pep at Man City. That is the next thing that is flying around. How nuts is that? But to be honest, credit where credit is due today. Haven't seen so unanimous, TK mentioned it as well on Twitter and in group chat, haven't seen our fan base be so unanimous how badly they don't want a player. Because instantly, we got bids and everything on Twitter, trending even, right? No to Madueke. No Madueke or whatever it is. No to Madueke, I think is something like that. Like, that is actually insane. This is utter and total disgrace. Utter and total disgrace. There are so many wingers we can sign who are better than Madueke, who are not from Chelsea, as Valerie is saying. And to top it all off, we have our own winger, arguably, in the club, which now is asking for Mikel guarantees of a playtime because he sees Madueke potentially is coming in. Last year, he got treated like, I don't want to say trash, but he got mistreated hard by Mikel Arteta. And he now is even questioning his future at the club. Like, that for me is the most insane thing ever, if you ask me. Because if we lose Ranieri, the crash out in the fan base is gonna be one for the ages. One for the century, arguably. If that happens, and that will be only on Mikel Arteta, because he would all started this. He started all that with Ranieri now. And if it goes wrong, you know who is to blame. Let's be real. We have players contracted to us that are better than Madueke, but we are going San Madueke. Exactly. How nuts is that? How nuts is that? Think about it. We much rather waste money somewhere else rather than use what we have in the club. We were used to know for having actually a very good academy. We still do, to be honest. Youth prospects, youth players, and everything. We used to have that. We still do. But somehow this manager specifically tries to neglect it whatsoever to some extent. When shit hits the fan and his back is against the wall, then he starts to using the youth. And let's be real, the Helen graduates actually have said his job multiple times. Saka did that. Emil Smith-Rowe did that. Now, also, of course, Skelly, Ranieri, they all did that. And he still isn't grateful, the damn Spanish prick. Big up, Hendon. Hope you're doing well. Like and subscribe, people, as well. All this goes to prove that Arteta has zero talent ID, close to 1 billion spent, and most of it is on utter dross. This season is going up in flames already. To be honest, it's true as well. You cannot deny it. We fly out to Singapore in 10 days. It's 10 days only. The Premier League season starts in 5 weeks. Yes, 5 weeks. And people say, be patient and everything, right? 5 weeks is a long time. 5 weeks is not a long time, people. Let's be real. It is going to go by like that instantly, and it's going to be starting the season. And if we are still going to try and sign strikers and all these guys, right, when the season has already begun, we are starting the season 3 steps behind already. Everyone will have their best players, all the players signed, like Liverpool has. They're going to sign 1 or 2 more, most likely. I see Everest is in the chat. He can correct me on that if I'm wrong. But they most likely going to do it before preseason, before the season kicks off. So they will have players already ready for the season. Meanwhile, we're going to dilly-dally. We're going to panic on the deadline day, and we're going to bring in someone like Raheem Sterling once again. And the other teams who have the players already purchased, bought for the team, and they have already played preseason, some tournaments or stuff like that, they're going to start season up before us 2 steps ahead because the players will know the system, will know their teammates, will be adjusted, and they will be ready. Meanwhile, we will have to still bed them in. And if we go by what Mikel Arteta preaches, that for a player to realize how good he is, he needs 55 games, and it takes 2 seasons to learn his system, we have no hope whatsoever during next season. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, PSG are 2-0 up on Real Madrid. It's 17th minute, and it's 2-0. Fabian Ruiz and Ousmane Dembele have scored. Real Madrid are going to crash out. Not going to lie. I want to smoke the tree Arteta is smoking. That's what it feels like. He has some good tree he's smoking there, 100%. He has a phenomenal by the looks of things. These reports are dangerous, 100%. Miguel having a spectacular meltdown about Madueke. Well, since we are talking about Madueke, Might as well pull him up, pause, and all that stuff, of course. But yeah, it's actually insane. It is actually insane how it happened. It genuinely happened in a blink of an eye. Like, you didn't even manage to do the things what need to be done. And all of a sudden, bang, 50 million for Madueke is in. And you're just sitting there and you just it's like you had a whiplash. You're just confused, you're lost, you're distraught, and you don't know what's going on at the end of the day. And that is what is the nuts part in all of this. We have no idea what is going on, and we have no idea how it's going to develop. And the worst part is there are still suggestions that despite everything, right, signing of Madueke doesn't impact Eze signing and stuff like that. I will believe it when I see it, but we're going to talk about all that right now. Seriously, we're going to talk about all that right now. And this is where it all began. This is where it all began, people. This is where it all began. Oh my goodness gracious. Big up, Gary. Hope you're doing well today. Big up, Everest. Hope you're having a nice evening. Madrid getting cooked for now. Yeah, watching the game. Have a good stream, Nino. No, don't do this. Noni, Madueke. Don't do this. Don't do this, Everest, please. Enjoy the game as well, by the way. What is the problem with Mikel with signing players who are not good enough and average, trying to revive their careers? Well, he wants to do something. Let's be real. Because if he signs one of those players, they hit the ground running. They save our season. They save something, right? Arteta looks like a genius. Let's be real. He looks like the next Messiah. Obviously, so far, he's looking just like a failure at the end of the day. But hey, it's like we're animal shelter for all the lost and poor, abandoned, the cast-outs, and everything. That's what this is. It's like Arsenal are in-betweeners. It's like we are the TV show in-betweeners. Random four guys, cast-outs, no idea what's going on there and everything. That's what Arsenal are. They are the in-betweeners between all the big clubs that are winning stuff on consistent basis. Let's be real. Like, it is actually insane. Hope everyone's doing a big up, Gary. Big up. Arteta, the captain, saying, oh. But yeah, anyways, today we saw these news. Arsenal dropped 50 million, including add-ons, for, I don't even want to say his name, to be honest, but Noni Madueke. Chelsea want more than 50. That's good for us, because if we had a brain cell, if they basically deny the deal, we should turn around and walk away. But you just know that Arsenal are never going to do that, are they? They're going to go in with an improved offer. Let's be real. Good relationships between the clubs as talks continue. This is the most frustrating part you can read overall on a transfer news. Seriously. Good relationship between the clubs. You would think so, given how much players we signed from Chelsea in general. It's actually embarrassing. All the dross, all the cast-outs, everyone. And the nuts part is somehow Madueke is sold on Mikel Arteta's ideas. He's sold on the fact that Mikel Arteta isn't going to make him a starter, and he's going to be one of the centerpieces, basically. He's going to play left wing, apparently, and he's going to be the main guy. Like, where does that make any sense? Like, make some sense. But don't worry, guys. Don't worry, guys. There are some good news. There genuinely are some good news. Seriously. This. Arsenal have been searching for a left winger and also considered Rodrigo, Morgan Rogers, Anthony Gordon, Nico Williams. However, there's always that one but. All would cost more than Noni Madueke. Andrea Berta is determined not to overspend on transfer fees or wages. So basically, we are penny pinching. We are skint. We have no money. That's what it looks like. We have no money. We are going again for the cheapest option. Because Rodrigo, if he decides to leave about 90 to 100, he's not going to join us, let's be real. Morgan Rogers would be about 70, 80, most likely. Something between 60 and 80, we'll just put it that way. Anthony Gordon would be between around 70. Nico Williams, that's done and dusted. He's not joining. Noni Madueke is the cheap option. He's the cheap hoe in this all this equation. And now we are actually in for him. We are penny pinching. And as we talked about this earlier on the stream, it's actually kind of insane when you think about it, how we don't have 5 million to distribute towards Gyökeres, but we have 50 to distribute towards Madueke. Where does that make sense? Where does that make any bloody sense? Can anyone tell me this? Can anyone explain me the logic behind Arsenal transfers right now? Because at the moment, it's utter and total embarrassment. I follow some Chelsea fans. I know some Chelsea fans. Oh my God. I genuinely am scared to open my WhatsApp, open my DMs, open anything where I have Chelsea followers. On Twitter as well, I saw Matisse, Yessa, all the guys. Oh my goodness gracious. I just cannot my mind is about to explode. Because if Madueke joins, oh my God. Because I already see top Gunners trying to justify the Madueke signing. Oh, he's a decent backup for Saka. Oh, 50 million. Oh, he's going to be good for us on the left wing. He's better than Martinelli. Oh, this, oh, that. Every way they can move a goalpost to justify Madueke signing and trying to do. Already. And he's not even at our club. I don't want this player at the club whatsoever. Genuinely. Because that is money not smartly spent. It's money wasted left, right, and center. However, I promised you some good news. So here it is. Noni Madueke's possible arrival at Arsenal does not affect their interest in Eberechieze and signing a striker. Right? How to say this? If we sign Eze, if we sign Gyökeres, and stuff like that, it will be a bit easier to swallow the pill that is Noni Madueke. At the same time, let's be real. I'm not satisfied. If we sign Madueke, this window already is a failure. Because if you want to sit here and tell me with straight face that those 50-something million could not be spent better to better players to improve other parts of the team or even the same left wing, you are out of your mind. Because that is what Arsenal do. They find stopgap players and expect them to be the main stars of the club. Because you cannot tell me that players like Tomiyasu, yes, good squad player, but I don't want squad player. I want ceiling raiser. I want a player that fights for the spot, that breathes on the main guy's neck to intense the competition, to make the other guy perform better. Because so we have a proper backup if something happens to that player. I don't want to see some makeshift type of team where one gets injured, then the whole system changes. Half of the squad gets changed. Because let's be real, it's always like that. As soon as one of the main guys get injured, the whole team shifts. Specifically, if the right back spot is under scrutiny, Timber is injured, White is injured, whole team shifts around. Partey went to the right back. Then we have someone go in the 6, someone else go in the 8. And sometimes the 8 is the one that used to play on the left wing, if it's Havertz or Trossard or someone like that. So we put him in the midfield. Then we again have to need to find a left winger and everything. It's always such a painful situation regarding Arsenal. Nothing ever with Arsenal is straightforward. It's always some side road quests and all this stuff. It's never straight to the goal. It's always like this. And somewhere we somehow don't even get to the goal. Because the goal is to win trophies. And we don't win none of those. Let's be real at the end of the day. We just sign players that are not good enough and expect them to be our main guys. You cannot tell me with straight face that Noni Madueke, who are Chelsea willing to let go in Maresca's phase 2, who are fighting for top 4 next season, right, will be the one who's going to carry Arsenal over the line in Premier League and help Mikel Arteta in phase 6, by the way, people, to win Premier League, Champions League, or to win some cups. You cannot tell me that with a straight face. That is some ludicrous statement if you would make that. Let's be real. Like, if he was that good, no chance in hell Chelsea would let him go so willingly. Only 50 million. Because if you go for 50 million and put in for Cole Palmer, you will get laughed out of the interview. They won't even open the door. They won't even entertain the idea. Let's be real. It would be like that at the end of the day. If you give 50 million for Caicedo, nobody's answering. 50 million for Enzo, nobody's answering. But Madueke, who cares? They just signed João Pedro, scored a cracking goal yesterday. 2 goals, to be honest, scored yesterday. Cracking goals, both of them. They have Pedro Neto. They signed Bino Gittins. Like, they are signing some players. They signed Delap as well. They're making some changes. Yes, it may not seem like they are the best in the business. But Chelsea are not in a stage to go and win something. They have won something. They're in a final of Club World Cup. We most likely are going to see PSG versus Chelsea Club World Cup final, because PSG at the moment, 30 minutes into the game, are winning 3-0. Like, I just don't understand how fans can justify any of this, because no fan is holding anyone accountable. They're taking this punishment with open arms. It's like nobody cares. Oh, Madueke, so who the hell cares? People have forgotten that Wanjeri needs to sign a new deal. We are at the moment negotiating. People have fully forgotten that. People mention Wanjeri only because Madueke is coming in. But overall, nobody's talking about Wanjeri that much, unless he gets brought up on purpose at the end of the day. Like, how people are not being frustrated about this. Everyone is still, yes, they are annoyed, but they are accepting it. Nobody's calling anything out. Nobody just says, how is this possible? Nobody's calling for Kroenke's heads, for Arteta to be sacked. Everyone says, oh, give him more time, give him more time. What time? To sign more Maduekes? To sign more Pablo Maris? Or what? Finish second once again? I don't want to finish second. I want to win. At this stage, we are not going to get even top 4 if we keep signing players like this. And God forbid we don't even get Gyökeres, by the way. Don't forget that. If we don't get Gyökeres, it's going to get even worse. Let's be real. If we don't get Gyökeres and we are forced to resolve to our third option, other targets, let's be real. Those targets are not going to be Gyökeres. They are not going to be that good, most likely. You will accept them because it's a striker, but overall, it's not going to be the same. I still see Arsenal fans today saying, oh, signing Gyökeres will ruin Mikel Arteta's system. I'm sorry, what? If we sign Gyökeres, Arteta should adjust his system, not adjust the player to fit his system. Because at the end of the day, that is a player killer. It's going to ruin the player more than anything. And no wonder people laugh at us. All our rival fans want Arteta to stay. Because we are a laughingstock. The interviews, the signings, the memes they can make, it's actually insane. It makes their pain that United are 15th, Spurs are 17th, Liverpool just won the league, City will overtake us next season, and everything. It just makes their pain much more easier. It just makes it much, much better. Let's be real. Like, it's utter insane. It's so insane that I just cannot comprehend how people are okay with this. That this club play attention to the fans. No, they don't. They just care about the money. As long as the merch store is full of people, the blind being led by the blind, basically fan base, top gooners being led by the blind shepherd, which is Mikel Arteta, they're happy because money keeps rolling in. Nobody cares. We complain about Havertz, and we at the end of it were right because he didn't work out. We are trying to replace him right now. Doesn't say getting it. Like, they don't get it. Like, genuinely, they don't get it. Havertz misses chances from 2 yards out. So let's sign another player who tends to lose ball a lot, whose finishing is far from ideal. Let's sign another one who crosses the ball on very average at crossing the ball and everything. Let's sign another one like that. Yeah, he's going to help the team. It's like we repeat the same mistakes over and over and over again and never learn from them. Sounds like Mikel Arteta in management, in the subs, player managing, everything. We apply the same strategy to the transfer window at the end of the day. Oh, look, but we tried. That will be the excuse at the end of the window. Or the deal's going to be dragged out so long that we're going to get maybe even Gyökeres. But it's going to be somewhere mid-August or something like that, what it feels like right now. And everyone's going to be over the moon. But by then, the transfer window will be closed already almost. We will have no time to sign the necessary 4 players we need. It's always like that with Arsenal. Always. And it's actually grinding my gears how people are so oblivious to this, that people don't care about this. Like, people just care as long, like, if Mikel Arteta wants him, I want him. Like, what logic is that? Seriously. Oh, I'm moaning. I'm not moaning. Let's be real. I'm just calling out this BS of Arsenal, what they're doing. I want this club to win, not finish top 4 again. Not win every single trophy again. We are more than halfway through Wenger's 9-year trophy drought. More than halfway through. And people don't give a damn. At this stage, everyone was already calling for Wenger's head, pretty much. Right here, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Everyone's happy, farting rainbows, shitting sunshines and everything. Like, what the hell is this fan base doing? Like, they're not holding the club accountable. They're not doing anything. They just go with the flow. Throw shit at a wall and see what sticks. And the things that stick, they're happy with at the end of the day. Like, it's utter and total embarrassment, to say the least. Big up at Yeti. Big up, big up, big up, big up, big up. Big up at Yeti. I'm happy that you have signed Elanga, but I'm not happy to sign Elanga that you have signed. And to be honest, you know what makes it worse? This Madueke BS. At the same time, I got these news. At the same time, these news dropped. These news dropped at the same time. Spurs have reached all agreement with West Ham to sign Mohamed Kudus. Oh, what? Pretty much the same amount Madueke is worth. Why didn't we go in for Kudus? Why didn't we try and sign him? What was our reasoning? What was our excuse not to go and sign Kudus? Because let's be real, we wanted to sign Kudus last summer, 40 million, and well, of course, let's be real, we didn't. Right now, we have a chance to sign. We had a chance to maybe try and go in for Kudus again, and of course, again, we didn't. Like, this club is genuinely as backwards, and I don't feel like anything is going to change. And that's what's the nuts part. I can talk about this as much as I want till I'm blue in my face, but it doesn't feel like anyone actually gives a flying F about this. Let's be real. That's what it looks like. The club doesn't give a F. Half of the fan base does, more than half, almost the whole fan base doesn't give a F. And now we are here. Now we are here. And people say, oh, you're toxic and negative. Well, serves you right. Don't like, don't watch. But I'm not going to stop calling the club out on this bullshit they're trying to peddle on the fan base on consistent basis, day in, day out. Seriously. Anyways, some other news. Somewhat positive news, but not so positive news. Arsenal cannot even sign Mosquito from Valencia. According to reports, another $2 euros, Arsenal attempts to sign Valencia defender Christian Mosquera have stalled as well. We cannot even sign a Mosquera anymore, as the La Liga club now are asking more than £20 million all of a sudden. We went in with a 17 million bid. They rejected us. We went in with the same amount as his release clauses. They rejected us. Now they want more than 20 million. So you want to tell me Arsenal cannot pay his release clauses, which is 17 million pounds? Why we are trying to negotiate over 17 million pounds? Do we want to pay 20 million pounds in installments? We cannot afford 17 million for a center back anymore. You want to say we are that broke now? We signed Norgard, Zubimendi, Kepa, and that's it. And we are already broke. We have no money. What are we doing here? Seriously. We cannot even sign a Mosquito from Valencia anymore. Like, This is shambles. Seriously, this is utter and total shambles. They already run Operation TP. Their club can run anything they want. Basically, everyone costs more than we are willing to spend. But that again, is it our issue? Because the player is worth what the club wants at the end of the day. That is what player is worth what the club is willing to take. Because player doesn't basically dictate his own value. Yes, performance influences that, but at the end of the day, the club dictates the value of the player. Club asks for the money, they pay, you get the player, he's valued at that at the end of the day at that stage. Like, it's insane. 115 million on Havertz and Maggie bread. Someone needs their P45. Exactly. Big up AFC always. Hope you're doing well as well. $115 million for Havertz and Madueke. And that could rise because Madueke is not cemented in 50 million. It could be 55, so that's 120. You want to tell me that for 120 million, we could not have signed a proper striker, proper left winger, or even both to some extent? For 130 million, you could sign Kvaratskhelia and Tony, for example. Just putting it out there. If we are looking in those terms. How do you expect the fans get behind the club and the players if they don't give the fans anything to be excited about? Exactly. They take us for granted. They basically are playing on our strings of emotional attachment to the club. And it's working because, let's be real, we all are emotionally invested in this club. Because we wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be sitting here and calling this stuff out. You wouldn't be here listening. You wouldn't also be saying this stuff online. You wouldn't be watching other streams talking about this. We are all emotionally invested. But have you noticed as well, as soon as this Madueke BS began, all of a sudden, half an hour later, Arsenal dropped training pictures from preseason. Just so take attention away from Madueke stuff. Instantly. Instantly took 30 minutes, maybe an hour. All of a sudden, training pictures come out from preseason. Oh, Odegaard is meeting with this. Oh, here's Win the Dog. And here is Zubimendi and Merino, the best buds for life, and all this stuff coming out. Like, seriously. It's insane. And Mikel Arteta also, he called out the fans. He said, oh, we lost because we didn't have enough support from the fans. How long can we just support the club when you don't give anything in return? And I'm not even talking about trophies right now. I'm talking about the performances on the pitch, you damn bastard. Spanish Lego-headed prick. The performances on the pitch I'm talking about. How can we get behind the team if this club is playing like tranquilized giraffes? All of them. I'm not even talking about Havertz right now. Performance is shit. So why would we get behind that? Oh, yeah, you're playing shit. Do it more. Yeah, oh, come on, yeah. Makes zero sense. Like, it's insane. This Gyökeres situation is Suarez deal all over again. Just pay the money. Exactly. Pay the damn money and get the damn player. That's it. Sign the deal, move on. Next target, let's go. 5 million. 5 million to haggle over when you want to spend 50 on Madueke. Like, it makes no sense whatsoever if you put it together. In other news, Norgard has arrived. Pictures, he has met Andrea Berta. He has arrived at Arsenal. He has arrived at forgot how we call it. Like, but yeah, Arsenal's new signing, Christian Norgard, being greeted by Andrea Berta at... Why am I blanking on the training center's name? Oh my god. What was it called before Soba Reality Training Center? I genuinely am skipping my mind on this. What was it? What was it before? Well, Colney. Fucking hell. London Colney. Oh my god. Yeah, he has arrived at Colney. To be honest, he has passed also his medicals. So you can expect that tomorrow or day after tomorrow, most likely on Friday, he will be announced. He will be announced. So just to take more attention away from all the Gyökeres BS, from all the Madueke crap, Just like they did with training pictures today. Same shit. Same goddamn shit. Here's one of the biggest wafflers on the planet, Gunner Blog. Fabio Vieira is likely to report to Arsenal for preseason. Hey! Odegaard's backup is here. But the Gunners would be willing to listen to offers. Would be willing. That sounds very promising, doesn't it? Would be willing. How about just sell him and that's it? Don't care. Sell him. Not good enough. Bin him. Like, what the hell are we doing here? Okay, some positive news. Let's just say it as it is. Some positive news. Max Naumann wants to stay at Arsenal. I don't know why, under this manager specifically, but he wants to stay at Arsenal. So we'll see how that goes. And talks are already underway for him signing his first professional contract when he turns 16 in December. That is some positive news, I'm not gonna lie. Because if we lost also Max Naumann, I would be hella pissed, to say the least. I'm not gonna lie. That would be the icing on all of this mess on the Cape. Madueke scored 7 goals in 32 games last season. Ridiculous waste of money, exactly. Martinelli has scored 8. And he was rotating more with Trossard than anything. Madueke played almost every single game. Like, what an improvement for Arsenal. Yet we get told that Mikel Arteta apparently envisions him, Madueke, like Sane, like how Sane was at Man City. He can transform him. He can evolve. The small margins can be fixed. He can light the light bulb in Madueke's head. He can drink some lemon juice, pet the dog, and everything. Like, come on, what are we doing here, for fuck's sake? This club has zero logic. Like Arsenal are like a social experiment. How much pain can fan base and human personally, emotionally endure until they have enough and they just leave? How much? Let's see. Yeah, call me, big up Gary. Vieira, he's like a new signing, basically. Oh, it's like a new signing. Remember when Wenger said that about Danny Welbeck when he came back from injury? Those were the days, wasn't it? That's what it feels like right now. Arsenal promoting Doug. No way. Where? Seriously, where is that? AFC always. Just not today. Seriously, not goddamn today. Where is dog shampoo? Not today. Seriously, not goddamn today. Where is the dog shampoo? That this cannot be serious. You genuinely cannot be serious about this. Oh. Well, Fabrizio Romano has a mini update on Gyökeres, and as always, he waffles a lot and says nothing. Victor Gyökeres insists on not showing up at Sporting anymore. Only Arsenal clubs remain in talk. So he again waffled the whole tweet to get about $3,000 for a tweet by saying nothing. Cool, that's about that, isn't it? At the end of the day. Where? Don't AFC always. If you are trolling like it's genuinely the 1st of April, I'm gonna flick you in the air. Where is it? Accessories. Footwear, underwear, scarves, bags, jewelry, hats, caps. Gifts, retro memorabilia, animal. Where? Hey, AFC always. Don't do this to me. Where is it? I don't see it, at least. Wait. Only thing I can find is the plushie toy, £25. That's the only thing I can find. There is none of that. Chelsea are making a profit on Madueke as well. They can't believe. Exactly. And the worst part is Chelsea are in financial trouble with UEFA's FFP. If we buy Madueke, we just bail them out again, get out of jail free card. Oh, you have trouble with FFP? Sell some draws to Arsenal, we are saved instantly. Lions X even got up a couple of weeks back. I don't see it. I genuinely don't. I don't see it. Like, that's how nuts it is. I actually do not see it. But it is what it is, I guess, in those terms. But yeah, it's actually I don't know what to say and what to think. Like, this Madueke stuff, like, it's actually insane. This Madueke stuff really has made me uneasy. I'll just put it that way. But yeah, it's bad enough that, for example, Spurs are signing Kudus for 55 million. We are dropping 50 on Madueke. This club is a joke. Embarrassment, to say the least. It's actually kind of nuts. Exactly. We spunk money on dross players all over the place, yet we penny pinch on top targets. It's always like that. It's always has been like that. And have you noticed as well? As soon as we are talking about Mikel Arteta wants a player, it gets done. 1, 2, 3, he's here. Announced everything. As soon as we talk about a player that Mikel Arteta doesn't want, right, specifically, all of a sudden we have issues. All of a sudden we have issues. Mikel Arteta wants Norgard, 2 days, bang, he's here. Mikel Arteta wants Odegaard, bang, 2 days, he's here. Mikel Arteta wants Zinchenko, bang, 1 week, he's here. Soon as we started talking about Merino and Calafiori, all of a sudden, arguments in the hierarchy. Merino is not good enough. There are issues with Calafiori's injury record. Those were the reports last year. They said that. Mikel Arteta says, I don't care. He put his iron fist on the table and said, I want them. Go sign me them. And he got him. And that's it. That was our business. And then we got Neto on loan and Sterling on loan. Remember what he said about Sterling? It took me 10 seconds or 10 minutes. I don't remember. 10 seconds, I think, to realize that I want him at the club. Then Sterling comes out in a promotion video saying, you will see the best of me. And we all saw what the best of Raheem Sterling last season. 0 goals in Premier League. That was at his best. We started with Rodrigo and ended up with Madueke. Exactly. Rodrigo was just a smokescreen for Madueke at the end of the day. That's what it looks like now. Rodrigo was just a smokescreen for Madueke. It should be the other way around. But if Arsenal were in good relationships with logic and everything. But we are not. We just, if it makes sense, Arsenal won't do it. Berta should stay in Portugal until Gyökeres deal is signed and sealed and delivered. Yeah, he should, but he's not. He already has flown back. Big up, Robert. Tell me what is going on with Gyökeres deal. We need him. Well, it's stalled. Arsenal are haggling over 5 million, apparently. The deal apparently is expected to be done by the end of the week. Expected. Should be done. Could be done. Might be done. Go figure. Genuinely go figure at the end of the day. By the way, people, like and subscribe if you haven't already. Help the stream out. If we could reach 20 likes, that would be phenomenal. We need Gyökeres and Eze deals only. We need Gyökeres, Eze, Rodriguez. We need big players. We don't need some wishy-washy garbage man deals. I don't want to go through Chelsea trash cans. We are doing that once again. It's like we never learn. Genuinely, we never learn. And that's the thing. 5 million is nothing to Arsenal. Exactly. They will make that back in literally 10 minutes of announcing Gyökeres, because everyone will order a shirt with Gyökeres on the back. It literally will take 10 minutes, and that 5 million will be made back. Like, seriously. That's what? 5 million, that's what? 50,000 kits. Or for 100 grand a pop, right? 100 pounds a pop, right? So that's 50,000 kids. Genuinely, 50,000 kids, that's it. Arsenal will sell about 500,000 kits with Gyökeres on the back. Like, let's be real. It's not that difficult. Haggling over 5 million for Gyökeres, paying 50 for Madueke. This is number one BS. Exactly. Big up, Jack Reacher. Big up. Love the TV show and everything. But yeah, it is like that at the end of the day. It makes no sense. It's utter and total disgrace. Arsenal are just penny pinching on the important players, yet they're no trouble wasting money on the BS players, as AFC always said. Netflix FC always the next season, exactly. Who cares? We don't win nothing like this season. We're gonna go again next season, and it's always like that. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, and then you hear the Taylor Swift song in your head. I've seen this film before, and I didn't like the ending because it's the same damn movie you're watching over and over and over again, and you still expect it finish the same way. It's just like you watch Home Alone at Christmas. You know what's gonna happen. You still laugh, and for some weird goddamn fucking way, you're still hoping that Marv and Harry actually are gonna get the kid and Rob and get safely away, just because you want something different. It's a great movie, you love to watch it, but at the same time, sometimes you cannot help but wishing that actually Harry and Marv actually kick Kevin's ass. Like, let's just put it that way. Any updates on Eze? I heard that Madueke deal won't affect it. Yeah, apparently Madueke's deal will not affect Eze's deal. Then again, what I read in the morning was the fact that Arsenal are trying to find the best solution to sign Eze, and they have two options. Either they want to pay in installments, which is obviously Arsenal's strong suit, or right? Apparently, there is some talks about cash, money, plus a defender deal. Whether that defender is Kivior or whether that is Josh Nichols, I have no idea. But there are some talks about defender being included in the deal. And looking at that, they're losing a defender in Gehi. They might lose another defender, and they will need defenders, even though they apparently are signing Dio Monday as well from Sporting, by the way. They might actually go for it, but I don't think so. They need money. And why would even, like, Crystal Palace would sell Passay? Because let's be real. Sorry, something's itching behind my ear. Because they're in Europa League. You can get Aubameyang on a free now. Yeah, you can, but let's be real. Aubameyang himself doesn't want to come back to Arsenal. He's never playing under this manager ever again. This manager is damaged goods for him. They're never going to see eye to eye. And the only reason why Aubameyang would return to Arsenal is just to slap Mikel Arteta around for the things that he did to him. You just know. Oh, fuck. Hey. Madueke number 40. If that happens, if I see Madueke at Arsenal, it's already 10.5. But if he gets number 14 shot, or 10 even, let's be real. Obviously, 14 is more sacred, for me personally. It's gonna be meltdown settings once again. It's gonna be meltdown settings once again. Like, no argument about that. Gyökeres, Eze, Rodrigo, new manager is 10 out of 10 window. Yeah, if we get Gyökeres, Eze, Rodrigo, and a new manager, 100% it's 10 out of 10 window. The new manager is the key part in this. I read today that Liverpool might be going for Rodrigo due to the fact that maybe Diaz might be leaving. They still need a striker. The sad passing of Diogo Jota as well. They might be going in for Rodrigo as well, by the way. Let's just look at that in those terms. Everything about this club is done until they change ownership, board and manager. Yeah. Because if I was an owner at Arsenal, let's just say I have about 10 billion lying around. I would pay 6 if I could to get Arsenal. First thing I would do, sack the manager, sack the ownership, and change it. After that, we would go up, and then we go from there. Because let's be real, this club is rotten to the core, no matter how you look at it. And until it gets cut out, it's never going to change. Arsenal need what Matty, Southern Gunner, big up Southern Gunner, right, said that Arsenal need an open heart surgery on the club. I think Ralph Ragnick said that about United, right? And then Matty kind of rephrased it regarding Arsenal. Arsenal need an open heart surgery, pretty much. Full body, open body surgery. Breaking, Liverpool could be set to make a move for Rodrigo if Luis Diaz leaves. If Liverpool sign Isak and Rodrigo, lock the season off. Not just lock the season off, lock the next few seasons off. Let's be real. If Liverpool get those two, it's done. It's Peakham's and it's done and dusted at the end of the day. It will be painful. It's going to be long. And let's be real, Arsenal start the season is actually hell on earth if you actually look at it. Where is it? Here we go. I'm going to share it, the last thing we're going to talk about. But Arsenal start the season is pain in the ass, to say the least. Whoop, too big? No. But yeah, this fan base is absolutely tapped as well. Top Gunners, exactly. They dance around in their underwear on TikToks. They sing about wanting Mikel Arteta's babies and everything. It's insane. It's actually insane. People still defend Gyökeres. By the way, if you have not searched on YouTube, there are already YouTube videos with titles Noni Madueke, welcome to Arsenal. There are still Benjamin Sesko, welcome to Arsenal title videos. They're still there. They're still there. People are still doubling down that Arsenal are still going to sign Sesko, and they're trying to justify the signing of goddamn Noni Madueke. PSG beating Real Madrid 3-0. Just hand them the trophy and make a proper gaffer. Exactly. He can win a quad this season. He won a treble, and he could win a quad right now if he wins the Club World Cup. Think about it that way. He could win a quad. And then in the start of the next season, he's going to be in the Super Cup. Spurs going to play PSG. He's going to have a chance already to kick off a season with a big trophy. Proper club. This is PSG owner himself said, now that we have won Champions League, our goal for next season is to repeat this achievement. Seriously, he said he wants to do it again. Only one thing, where the F is Gyökeres? Big up most wanted, big up. Well, it's stalled because Arsenal are haggling over 5 million. Make from that what you will. 21. Please hit the likes and sub people. Big up people. 21 likes. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. You are madness today, because I know quite a few Arsenal streamers are live at the moment regarding Madueke and everything. And I didn't expect anyone to be here. I expected everyone to be in those streams. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm really appreciate you all being here. I'm not gonna lie. Big up. Mendes and Hakimi world class fullbacks. If PSG get Rodrigo, PSG are not getting Rodrigo. I think he has no place there. I kind of believe so. But yeah, talking about Arsenal's start of the season, right? August 17th. So in 5 weeks' time, exactly in 5 weeks, pretty much, Arsenal kick off their Premier League season against Manchester United. At Old Trafford, by the way. We do very well there usually. Remember those days? Ooh. Then we play Leeds at home, which should be a win, but newly promoted side and everything. Not sure how Arsenal will look, how the injured players will come back from their recoveries and everything. If this game was at Elland Road, I would be scared shitless. I'm not gonna lie. My pants would be full of caca. But unluckily, it's at Emirates, so we kind of caught a break there. Then we go to Anfield. A place where we haven't won in 13 years. 13 years we haven't won at Anfield. And looking at what business Liverpool have done this window and the potential business they still could be doing, I have no trust whatsoever that we could come out of that game even with a draw. Obviously, by the end of the transfer window, it could change. Obviously, still don't know. However, it's not looking great. Then we have Nottingham Forest at home, which should be a win. However, again, Nottingham Forest, always a tricky time to play. Then we have Man City at home. Again, another team who has phenomenal transfer window. Yes, defensively they're shaky quite a bit. Then again, it could be long if we don't have the necessary signings. But it doesn't stop there. We just looked over first 5 games of the season. Look who we play next. Newcastle away is next after Man City at home. And we do very well at St. James Park. Every time we go there, we win. We slap them. Oh, wait, no. Other way around. We lose. They win. And we get slapped. Then we have West Ham at home. 2 years in a row, we have lost to West Ham at home. That always is going well for us. If this season doesn't start in a proper way, if we don't get the necessary points and we don't get the necessary business done in the beginning of the right now till, well, to be honest, preseason, which we fly out in 10 days, and season starts in five weeks. So we technically have time, but we don't have that much time. Let's just put it that way. It could be peak. By the time we play Man City, arguably at home, which is game week 5, big possibility we could be already about 5-6 points behind the first place. Big possibility, I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't take much. We're gonna lose if we lose to Liverpool, where we haven't won in 13 years. That's 3 points behind the first place, most likely instantly. If we lose to Old Trafford or draw there in the first game of the season, well, it's gonna be peak. Not gonna lie, fan base is gonna be very happy, to say the least. Not to mention St. James Park in the game week 6. Again, another game nobody's looking forward to. Like, first 10 games of the season pretty much will show, not even first 10, first 6 games or 7 of the season will show where Arsenal most likely are going to finish the season. And so far, based on business we have done, and based on the business that other teams have done, we will be lucky to finish in top 4, to say the least. I have seen some people do already Premier League predictions, right? And they said it doesn't matter if Arsenal sign Gyökeres and players like that. They still are not going to finish top 4. They're putting Arsenal 5th or 6th, and they're putting Newcastle above us and other teams like that. It's not looking great. Nando's FC buying Kudus and we signing Noni Madueke. Yeah. And the worst part is, we most likely going to get Madueke, and the complete package of the deal is going to be the same amount as Mohamed Kudus, 55 million. Most likely, if not more. And now tell me who got the best deal at the end of the day. Obviously, unfortunately, it is Spurs. It's like winning a trophy actually means something. Oh, but top Gunners don't care about the trophies. It's only the league finish that matters. As long as we are top 4 and we tried, everyone's happy. I will say this and say it again. 22 years ago, there was none of this bullshit because the club and fan base had standards. Not anymore. Facts. 22 years ago, if you heard someone say, oh, it's a phase 2 type of situation, he has to adjust to the league. It's a squad rotational player. He's a ceiling raiser. You would get slapped into next week by anyone. Let's be real. Anyone who merchants small margins would get weighed in without shadow of a doubt. That's what it was that time. When we moved from Highbury to the Emirates, we only basically moved the name, Arsenal, the soul, the essence. The club, what it used to be, got left at the Highbury. And unfortunately, we have never, ever got it back since. There were some glimpses, obviously, when we just moved, but overall, it's never, ever been the same, and it's going downhill more often than not. 50 million on Chelsea just when we need level raise. Yeah, 50 million, if not more, by the way. If not more, by the way. If not more, that is the nuts part. If not even more. That is how insane this is. And I'm going to show you this, just because, well, I can. The Canon, AFC podcast, right? They put a poll on Twitter. This. Madueke, are you in favor of the transfer or not? I voted, obviously, no, get someone else, as you can see. 32.4% said yes. Sign Noni Madueke. 588 votes times. So 188 people voted that they would love to have Madueke at Arsenal. Nearly a third of the people, I know it's a small kind of sample size, 588 people, but this is more or less where you can see Arsenal fans' minds are sitting. Because I had the same thing also on Deluded Gunner stream. He also put out a poll, basically, talking about this, right? Would you take Madueke at Arsenal, right? And here are the results. 300 votes, 37% said yes, sign Madueke, and 63 said no, don't sign Madueke. That just shows pretty much that about 1/3 of the Arsenal's fan base, at least who are in social media, let's just put it that way, or watch some streams, are in favor of signing Noni Madueke. And that is actually enough for Kroenkes to look at it and say, see, everyone's happy. And those usually are also the guys who blindly follow Mikel Arteta with no questions asked whatsoever. Just to add a bit more sadness, if he plays on the wing, which is sad, he's sent exactly. Ranieri is better than Madueke. The day we knocked out Highbury, Arsenal lost its heart and soul. Yeah, they lost their essence, who they are. Arsenal original badge came out in 1945. I hate everything about that badge. Now the cannon is facing the wrong way. Yeah. Nuts parties next year, 2026. 140 years of Arsenal. We were founded in 1886. 140 years of Arsenal. How are we going to celebrate it? Most likely not winning anything next year. So that is also not a great look. But yeah, listen, guys. I think on that note, I'm going to end today's stream. You have been freaking fantastic. Like the stream. Subscribe if you haven't. Go check out my YouTube short and TikTok as well. TikTok Latvian Gunner, YouTube short while you're on the channel. You can figure it out, of course. But yeah, for today, I'm going to sign off. Today, another work day, of course. And hopefully tomorrow, Arsenal provides us with some positive news, because so far, it is looking hella peak. And not good type of peak. It is looking hella depressing. But big up to you all. Big up to AFC, Most Wanted, everyone who joined, who chatted, who were here. Have a nice evening. Have a nice day tomorrow. And hopefully, we're going to see you very, very soon once again. Peace. Have a great evening. And hopefully some positive news regarding Arsenal are gonna come out tomorrow. Bye.